With Donald Trump's announcement this week that he'll be once again seeking the presidency in 2024, Democrats already sharpening their political knives to figure out how to stop him. Some now even trying what I view as a sort of dumb and pointless route, seeking to disqualify him from running at all. Representative David Cicilline, a Democrat from Rhode Island, is eyeing legislation that would bar President Trump from serving in office under the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, citing Section 3, which says, "No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or hold any office shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof." He said, quote, Donald Trump engaged in insurrection on January 6th with the intention of overturning the lawful 2020 election results. I've drafted legislation that would prevent Donald Trump from holding public office again under the 14th Amendment. The insurrectionist disqualification clause is a 19th century clause passed in the wake of the Civil War aimed at keeping Confederates from coming back into power. But putting aside what is, in my view, a very, very weak legal argument, do we really want Congress making determinations about who should run for office? They can do that through impeachment, which they and he tried and failed. Here's Cicilline in February of 2021 arguing for impeachment in the wake of the January 6th.
After a betrayal like this, there cannot be unity without accountability. And this is exactly what the Constitution calls for. And the very words used in the Constitution all confirm unquestionably, indisputably, that President Trump must stand trial for his high crimes and misdemeanors against the American people.
Look, I don't mean this as a defense of Donald Trump as much as a defense of our political system that allows voters to choose. And liberal activists have tried this before and lost in the courts. Earlier this year, there were efforts to disqualify Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene from public office, citing the same clause in the 14th Amendment. This was also over her role in January 6th. Taylor Greene also wasn't shy about helping them make their case either. Here she is about 10 months after the incident.
January 6th was just a riot at the Capitol. And if you think about what our Declaration of Independence says, it says to overthrow tyrants. So there's a clear difference between January 6th and the Marxist communist revolution that Antifa, BLM, Democrat ground troops waged on the American people in 2020.
All right, she's talking gibberish. I mean, I've been through this before, that I believe that anyone who engaged in property damage or certainly attacking police, summer riots, Capitol riots, should have the book thrown at them. But regardless, that's certainly not grounds for preventing her from running for office. And the court saw it the same way. A Georgia judge rejected the effort to disqualify her. The case was thrown out. Same effort was waged against North Carolina Republican Madison Cawthorn. A suit by the left-leaning organization Free Speech for the People claimed Cawthorn's involvement in January 6th made him ineligible to seek re-election. Case had the same result, thrown out of court. Cawthorn, of course, sought re-election, was primaried out, didn't even make it into the general election for his seat in North Carolina. The point is the system played itself out, as it should here as well. Joining me now is Donald Sherman, Senior Vice President and Chief Counsel for Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. He also served various senior roles in the White House and both chambers of Congress. Thanks so much for taking the time. Appreciate it. All right, so what do you think I'm getting wrong here?
Well, thank you for having me. I think the first thing you're getting wrong is that you said the system should play itself out. Well, it's hard to imagine anything that's a bigger part of our system of government than the United States Constitution and the amendments to it. So Section 3 of the 14th Amendment is a part of the system. It is a tool that the drafters of the 14th Amendment put into the arduous process of amending the Constitution so that we could prevent future insurrections, so that they could prevent future insurrections as occurred on January 6th. And it's our responsibility to enforce the Constitution against insurrectionists so that we can prevent future insurrections.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.